Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. So today's video is going to be a little bit of updates, a little bit of input from you guys, as well as just, general overall chit-chat. So, first thing, if you guys have not seen the mystery box video, I'll put that up here. You guys can check that out a little bit. But in the video, Zachary had sent over a pile of stuff, a really amazing looking rising fighter, and a bunch of motors, and some other little odds and ends, and this guy. And everybody was so surprised that I've never gotten this kit. Now, I have gone to order this kit several different times. I go to order a kit off of A-Main or something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I should go ahead and get those tools ordered. And every time I've done it, they've been out of stock and it's just one of those things. I don't think about it all the time. And now I've got a fair amount of other tools. So I do have the black-handled number 2 JIS screwdriver from Tamiya. This is actually the second one I've had. I know it's at least a second. Worn out the tip on the first one, and this one's starting to get rounded over. Have just a number 1 JIS that I got off of Amazon at some point. Now this one here, it's a Vessel brand. And I really, really like this one. The tip on this is very, very hard. Much harder than the Tamiya one. And I have probably put twice as many kits together with this tip versus this tip. And this one is still almost perfect. Now it does come with a number 1 and also comes with a pile of other ones. Now, the main reason I bought this is because I can put them in the electric screwdrivers. So, it's standard electric screwdriver bit. Now, I had these in my DeWalt screwdriver. Now, this is one of the DeWalt gyroscopic screwdrivers. But see, that's the problem, is it's starting not to work. So, if you're looking at one of these, it lasted about a year, and then all of a sudden the gyro decided it wanted to crap out. I recently picked up this little Amazon Basics screwdriver. The only problem is this doesn't have a clutch. This one had a very good clutch, so I could set this on like 12, 13 and drive in all the Tamiya screws into the regular plastics. It would stop, and then you could just barely give it a little turn to snug it up, and it was perfect. This one is going to require you to stop turning and hand tighten it, but it is a lot smaller, and I'm going to check this one out and let you guys know what I think about that. Now, in this one, it's just a magnetic one, so it slides in just fine. This one had the locking feature, and the bits on here have a longer shank than normal. It's about 1/8 of an inch longer. This is the standard one, and this is one I've actually shaved down. All I did was put this in a drill, go out there on a grinder, and grind off like 1/8 of an inch, and it worked fine. But in this version, it doesn't lock in. It needs to go in that extra 1/8 inch to lock in. But in a standard one where it's just magnetic, they fit and lock in just fine. Totally off subject, but I really, really like this set. I'll put a link down in the description if you guys are interested in checking it out. But like I said, super comfy, and like I said, this is just my go-to. Now I can use it in the drivers, or I can use it handheld. But I've also got a whole rack of tools over here that you guys don't see. I've got, all the metric drivers. I've got all the nut drivers, ball cup drivers, snips, shock tools, picks, screwdrivers, wrenches. I've even got, a socket driver. If I need to work on like the associated things, I can just find the proper sockets and do that. So I do have plenty of tools. It's just now I'm officially sponsored. Nobody's ever officially sponsored by Tamiya. I don't even think the Tamiya drivers are officially sponsored by Tamiya. Anyway, totally going off base. So the thing I need your guys' help with, I dyed the wheels on the top forks. I'll put a picture up here. I bought charcoal gray RIT dye. If you guys have never done it, basically for the wheels that you can dye, nylon and certain other plastics you can dye, certain other plastics you cannot. So it just depends on what wheels you have. But on these, they are dyeable. And I bought the charcoal gray. I was trying to match the gray in the graphics of the stickers that I had done. And yeah, the gray did not turn out gray. From a distance, they're almost black on camera. up close, they're like a blue-green, and outside, they're very much a blue-green. So, not terribly impressed with those. When I first put them in, I was like, let me just put them in for a moment. I don't want to get them too gray. I want them to have a light gray. And they were very teal, like super teal. So if you're looking for a teal, maybe that's a way to go. But definitely did not turn out gray. This is definitely like a dark blue green. But I also bought some egress wheels, the black egress wheels, and have them on the buggy. So first up is the buggy with the dyed wheels. And I'll try to see how it's kind of like it doesn't match anything. So, don't think those are going to hang on there. I could dye them black, but I'm not sure how black they're actually going to be, because black dye isn't true black. It's going to basically be a darker version of that. So, these are the egress wheels. And yes, there are purple wheel nuts on there. So I'm thinking the egress wheels are going to be the winner. Now I will kind of go off your guys' suggestions in the comments. You know, should I leave the egress wheels on, or should I just suck it up and go back and order some white ones? I really don't want to buy any more wheels, but technically I will if you guys think white ones look better. I kind of like the black egress wheels with the purple wheel nuts. You know, kind of keeps it with that stealthy look, the darker than, you know, the flashy pants version, and the purple wheel nuts kind of help it out. Now, I did put the purple wheel nuts on here first, and they look god-awful. So far these are blech. But again, they're not, I don't hate them, they just don't really fit with the buggy. So let me know your guys' opinion on the egress wheels, or should I just bite the bullet and go back to the white ones that were on here? Or if you guys have any other suggestions, you know, if I gotta buy wheels, you know, gotta buy wheels. So next thing is I did get out and play with the airbrush paints. Now I did not paint the RC10T. I wanted to get back to the feel of using the paints and, you know, getting the gun to spray properly, you know, with the thicker and thicker paints, and, you know, just kind of get back on the horse before I jump into trying to make that look like a nice body. So if you guys remember, I painted the Habao TT 2.0 kind of in a race-y theme, but this is all rattle can, and it came out really nice. You know, I'm not dissing it at all, but I wanted to try and push it a little bit more, and I did, and some things worked out and some things didn't. So this is the Habao Hyper TT 2.0 with some, what is this, pearl raspberry with blue speckles, and then flames with the silver borders. So we got the flames coming up on the hood, coming up on the roof, and then down the sides. Now the sides do not match. So this side kind of looks a little bit better than this side. These are kind of like more long, drawn out flames. And these are kind of more the classic swoopy flames. Again, kind of a first shot with it. The main thing with the flames is I drew all the flame outline on the body. And I didn't, you know, sit down and meticulously curve all the things. I just put in rough outlines. And then when I went to put the tape on, you know, then I'm trying to bend the tape around and use those flames as guidelines. And that's why one side looks a whole lot different than the other side. But the tape I was using for the silver border and to, you know, my masking, because basically I put the tape on as the border, and then I used the Tamiya tape to mask off the flames. Then I painted the rest of the body, the blue speckles, and then put the raspberry over top. And then I came back and peeled off the flame areas, painted those, and the last thing I did was come back in, peel out all the edges of the flames, paint those silver. Whether that's the appropriate order of operations, pretty sure it is, but that's the way we went. The problem is the vinyl tape I used did not want to stay stuck in all the areas, and it also wanted to, when I was cutting through the paper tape, it was very easy to slice right through the vinyl tape. So in some areas, I actually, yeah, like this area here, the back edge of that flame, I actually had to come back in and scratch out some of the paint to actually give me a line there, because I had there was hardly any of the tape left over. Basically, I cut the line in half, and when I peeled up the masking, it came off. And I was like, I'm not going to be able to tape up to that border, and if I tape it again, I'm like, we're just going to let it run. So thankfully, this stuff is fairly easy to kind of scratch off. I don't have them in here, but from Guru's World, I learned you can basically just take it's like a wooden fingernail tool, and you just kind of scrape it, and it'll scrape the paint up. I use a little bit of the thinner on it to kind of clean it up and make it perfect. Yeah, perfect. But overall, it came out well. I know I'm being harsh on myself, for a first time trying flames. They came out pretty good. The fades on them worked well. Some lessons were learned. So all in all, a very good experience. The speckles look super cool in person. They're lost on camera. But in person, there's a lot of little tiny blue speckles all over the place, and it gives it a cool look. But yeah, on camera, it kind of loses about a third of them. So overall, very happy with it. So now I have 2 bodies I can use, this one or that one, depending on mood. This was a spare body anyway, because I thought I may mess up this paint job, so I went ahead and ordered a spare. So it worked out good. So now I think I have some better information to go forward with trying the RC10T out. Not going to do flames on it. This was just an experiment on this body to see how difficult they were. That the RC10T, I'm thinking to do more of like the scalloped edges, so like half round, half pointy type thing. I don't know. We're gonna have to sit down and see what the body tells me it wants to be. I'm just trying to fit stuff on there that's not gonna look stupid. But yeah, so that is the airbrush paints. I had a good time with it. This did take all day. It took a long time to get everything masked and all that stuff, and then just paint and then dry and then paint and then dry and 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 paint and then dry. There's a lot of coats on here. So just a little bit of getting back into the groove of airbrushing, and so if you see guys online posting pictures of, hey, this is my first or second airbrush body and it looks really nice, go ahead and give them some kudos, because stuff is not as easy as it looks. And then of course, if you see guys like Custom Graphics and those guys doing amazing jobs, just hit that little heart button on Instagram, or just tell them great job. I'm sure they love hearing it, and I just cannot imagine those guys being able to crank out 4, 5, 6, or 8 of these things in a day. That's just I have no idea how they do it. So that's pretty much it for right now. We're expecting snow next couple days, so no runs anytime soon, unless it's like the blizzard or Clodbuster maybe. The granite or the big rock may get back out. I don't know. But for right now, running stuff like this out on the track is not going to happen. But let me know what you guys think about the wheels on this. Obviously, we got time to, order some stuff and figure out what's going to look best on there. But basically, cool black egress wheels, iffy dyed wheels, or should I just go ahead and try to buy something else and see what that looks like. So one other thing, supposedly I'm having the tool come in for review, so that will be something I think you guys will be interested in. It's a very inexpensive tool, but I think it would be a beneficial one to have on your workbench. So hopefully that works out and I can get a review done on that, so you guys can check that out. I'm looking forward to seeing how well it does. I think for the type of things that we do, it will be a decent little tool. Rising Fighter is ready to go out for a run. I put different shock springs on it, so the suspension is a little bit softer, and I've got a receiver in there. It's all bound up and ready to go. Sounds great. I just need to get it out and get it for a run. And I did some work on the MRC body. At this point, I've thrown in the towel. I've given up on trying to make this thing pretty. I'm just embracing its oldness and beat upness, because you cannot find these bodies online at all. And if you do find them and they're in good enough shape to buy, they're god-awful expensive. Evidently nobody has ever reproduced this body. So I'm just going with it. Basically what I've done is I've come back in and I've backfilled all the areas in like a rusty, crusty look. Next up is to tape off the outside of the windows, and I'm going to spray it with a matte clear. Well, I got to clean it up first, scuff it and spray it with a matte clear. And then we're going to start doing weathering to further rust out some of these areas, put some streaks in it, stuff like that. I've got places in the back where there's like white overspray on the body, and I got to clean that off. So there's going to be we've got to clean it up before we can ugly it up. But yeah, it's just, I tried to match the colors, and either the paint was way too bright white, or I don't know. It's just old, yellowed white paint, old, weathered, beat up red paint, and I just could not match it. I tried multiple different ways and just got aggravated with it. So we're just embracing the ugly. So yeah, it's got like silver streaks and brown streaks and black marks, and so all this stuff is just going to be crusty rust at some point. But like I said, we got to get it all cleaned up on the outside now, mask off the windows, and then get some matte clear over it to kind of give the airbrush paint something to bite onto, and then airbrush in some more rust and some streaks, and maybe a bullet hole or something here and there, and then get it back on the truck and get the truck out for a run. I'm still looking for parts for the truck. I got a motor mount, body mount in, but it was for the 10th scale and it's not big enough, so having to make do. I'm probably gonna have to make an upper body mount for the front end of it, but it's all work in progress. So I know it was a long one, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out, listening to me ramble. Give me feedback on what you guys think. Let me know what you think on this paint job. Let me know what you think on the wheels. And everybody out there, as always, be happy, be healthy, be safe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. See you.